The night that changed everything. It was supposed to be a flawless production, a multimillion-dollar Pepsi commercial filmed in Los Angeles in 1984, showcasing the biggest entertainer in the world at the peak of his fame. Michael Jackson was not only the king of pop, but the face of a new generation, a cultural force powerful enough to redefine music, fashion, and even advertising itself. But in a single instant, a spark turned into flames, and a legend's life was forever altered. The night Michael Jackson's hair caught fire during the filming of a Pepsi ad became one of the most infamous accidents in entertainment history. Yet, as shocking as the event was, what truly mattered was what came afterward. Out of tragedy came resilience. Out of pain came compassion. And out of scars came a legacy that reached far beyond music. This is the story of that night, and how it changed everything. Stay in the spotlight. Hit like and subscribe for more untold celebrity stories. The year was 1984. Michael Jackson was untouchable. Thriller had already become the best-selling album of all time, and his every move captivated the world. His moonwalk had stunned millions on live television during the Motown 25 special, and his every concert was an event. But Michael was not just a musician, he was a brand. Pepsi saw in him the perfect symbol of youth, energy, and global appeal. In a deal worth millions, Michael and his brothers signed on to star in a series of Pepsi commercials. For Pepsi, it was marketing brilliance. For Michael, it was another way to connect with fans, especially younger audiences. "I want to do things that inspire," he said at the time. "Things that make people happy." Nobody could have predicted that the deal would instead mark one of the darkest nights of his career. On January 27, 1984, the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles was packed, not with concertgoers, but with cameras, stage crew, and extras hired to cheer as Michael performed. The commercial's concept was simple. Michael, performing his hit Billie Jean, struts down a staircase surrounded by adoring fans. At the climax, fireworks explode, and the Pepsi logo shines across the screen. The energy was electric. Michael rehearsed tirelessly, as always, determined to give his best even for a commercial. He didn't believe in half doing anything, one crew member recalled. It was a commercial, but for Michael, it was still a performance. The stage was set, the pyrotechnics were in place, and Michael, in his signature sequin jacket and tight curls glistening under the lights, was ready. The first takes went smoothly. Michael danced effortlessly, hitting his marks with perfection. But on the sixth take, something went wrong. As Michael descended the stairs, pyrotechnics ignited too early. Sparks shot up, catching his hair. For a few moments, Michael kept dancing, unaware of the flames spreading through his scalp. The audience of extras screamed. Crew members rushed to him. Within seconds, stagehands smothered the fire, but not before Michael suffered second- and third-degree burns on his scalp and hands. The king of pop was carried away, shaken but conscious. Photographers captured haunting images of him with smoke rising from his head, images that would appear on front pages around the world the next day. The news spread instantly. Fans cried outside hospitals, terrified that Michael might never perform again. Rumors swirled. Was his career over? Was his face disfigured? The truth was that Michael was in immense pain. The burns required weeks of treatment and left permanent scars on his scalp. The injury also introduced him to painkillers, a fact that would have far-reaching consequences later in his life. But even as he lay in a hospital bed, Michael's mind wasn't on himself. It was on what he could do with the situation. When Pepsi offered a multimillion-dollar settlement, Michael stunned the world. Instead of keeping the money, he donated it, all of it, to the Brotman Medical Center in Culver City, where he had been treated. His donation funded the creation of the Michael Jackson Burn Center, which became one of the leading facilities for burn victims. "I don't want anyone to go through what I went through," Michael said softly at the time. "If I can help even one child, it will be worth it." This moment revealed the essence of Michael Jackson, a man who transformed personal tragedy into compassion for others. But the accident left invisible scars too. The pain of his injuries and the reconstructive procedures led Michael to rely on painkillers, medications that would later become part of his struggles. Friends noted a change in him after 1984. He grew more private, more sensitive about his appearance. The accident deepened his perfectionism and his insecurities. And yet, paradoxically, it also deepened his humanity. The ordeal brought him closer to children suffering from similar injuries, and he made countless unpublicized visits to burn wards. Nurses recalled him quietly slipping into hospitals, cradling children, singing to them, and giving them hope. Looking back, the Pepsi fire could have been remembered only as a tragedy, a freak accident in the life of a superstar. Instead, it became a defining moment that revealed Michael Jackson's resilience and compassion. It was the spark, quite literally, that ignited his most meaningful humanitarian work. The burn center he funded went on to save countless lives. His example inspired others to turn their pain into purpose. For Michael, the fire was not the end. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one where his music and philanthropy became inseparable. The night Michael Jackson's hair caught fire was one of the most terrifying moments of his life. But it was also one of the most revealing. It showed the world a man who could take suffering and transform it into love for others. The scars never left him. Neither did the memories. But through it all, Michael chose not to be defined by tragedy, but by how he responded to it. And in that choice, he left behind not just music that moved the world, but a legacy of compassion that burns brighter than any flame. Thanks for watching.